Web3 TV.
Hello and welcome to Web3 TV. I'm Lisa Amnegard, and today we're at the Dubai FinTech Summit 2025. Joining me right now is Sanat Rao, co-founder of WithinTheBox.ai. So thank you so much for joining me today. Tell me a little bit more about WithinTheBox.ai and what you guys are doing.
So though we have the name AI as part of our company name, we are not selling AI technology. Our proposition is that as powerful technologies like AI come into the organization, there's going to be a lot of disruption that happens because of the way humans engage with technology. So we are actually a team of applied AI scientists, and we've got anthropologists, sociologists, industry practitioners. And what we do is we focus on the behavioral change that happens in organizations as powerful technologies like AI come in. So our focus is very much part of the change that organizations need to go through as they contend with AI kind of technologies.
So what are the main changes, behavioral changes that happen when you introduce something like AI?
So there are many things. Historically, it's known that when any new powerful technology comes in, one of the big challenges that banks and the technology providers have is the question of adoption. You and I as users in a bank may like the tool, but the adoption rates are not necessarily as high as everyone would like it to be. So adoption is a big challenge. The other element, of course, is that as more and more discussion happens around the impact of AI at the workplace, we know that in the future of work, the organization structures are going to change. We know that tasks today that are being done by human beings will probably get automated. There are several other tasks that will remain with the human being. But most importantly, there'll be a whole set of new tasks, which will be human plus machine. Right? So these are kind of changes that are going to happen in organization. And this is really a part of the change that the organizations have to deal with, because on the one hand, you've got powerful technology. On the other hand, you've got the power of the human intellect and the human brain. And the organizations that do well are the ones who are able to bring the two together. And that's really what we are focusing on.
So you're kind of offering a mentoring service, or how does that work?
No, it's not a mentoring service. So at the moment, we are focusing on two things. One is that top down, from the management level downwards, there's a lot of focus in many organizations and many regions, including here in the UAE, on enabling AI literacy. Right. So what we do is we work with managements of banks and leading organizations to have bespoke programs for the leadership in our organization to help them understand the various manifestations of AI coming in. So we don't teach AI technology. That's not our space. So our first program that we are launching is something called Digital Transformation in the Age of AI. We've got several other programs, Operational Resilience in the Age of AI, and so on. And we've been fortunate that we've been selected as a partner by the AI campus, Dubai AI campus, which is the part of the AI Academy at the DIFC Innovation Hub. So we've been selected as one of their partners. So we're going to be working with them to roll out a whole host of these programs for institutions here in the UAE. So that's one part of the work.
Yeah.
The other part of the work is what we do with the management in organizations to look at use cases where there is a behavioral impact as these technologies come in. Now, the impact could be positive or it could be negative. What happens is that many times, you do questionnaires and you do surveys of employees and staff, but you don't necessarily understand the true problem. So our focus is to use frameworks and methods from the behavioral sciences to help organizations understand what lies behind the problem, to help them contend with that. So that's received a huge feedback and a very positive feedback, because we're one of the few companies which says, though we are an AI company, we are not selling any kind of AI technology. We are selling the understanding of human behavior. And I'll make this last point. A lot of policymakers and regulators today are talking about human augmentation. They're talking about human oversight. So they're asking companies to be conscious about what human oversight means. Right?
Yeah.
Companies don't have an understanding of that. So we are helping organizations to develop this.
Because it's kind of, there's two aspects here. The company sees it as a way to cut costs, whereas you're bringing in an entire new type of technology with no kind of precedent of how it affects the
That's
workforce.
Right.
So in your terms, what should companies know when they, let's say, start scaling AI inside their company?
Well, I think there's no one-size-fits-all answer to that question. But clearly a few things. One is that the companies that are going to be successful in this are going to be the ones that have figured out the human plus AI dimension. There are many companies who are looking at purely a cost angle, and they think that you can get rid of the human beings and replace it with the machine, right? Sure, that will help you some objectives, but in the long run, I don't think that's the only objective. I think the truly progressive organizations will be the ones who find an answer to what human plus AI looks like. The second thing, of course, is that in this period of change, you need to carry your people along, whether it's the employees, whether it's the stakeholders, whether it's your investors. And a lot of the focus today, whether it's at the regulator level, whether it's at the management level, is about ensuring that the value proposition of retaining the human being in this mix becomes very important. And I'll just end by saying this. A lot of times when new technology comes in, the first belief that we have is that the technology is coming to replace human beings. Right?
It happened with the internet, for
That's
example.
right. And it does replace some tasks, but our proposition is that in a powerful technology like AI, the successful organizations will be the ones who find the human plus AI answer rather than only AI or only human beings.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you so much for speaking with me. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
And I'll be bringing you more interviews. My name is Lisa Amnagard, and you're watching Web3 TV.